Maverick Indicators here. Getting into this trade here on ES bright and early in the morning. It is, what time is it? It's 7:04 a.m. I'm still sipping on my coffee here. And we have an A+ setup. Buy signal down here from the Maverick signals. Beautiful push up, bright green candles, which is your strongest upside candle. Remember, the Maverick AI Pro colors your candles to the data, not price and direction. So right now, if you're just using red and green candles, that just tells you price and direction. What the Maverick AI Pro does is it colors your candles to the data. So bright green is your strongest upside candle. Red is your second strongest downside candle. Hot pink is your strongest downside candle. Second strongest, most strongest. Think of it like a heat map. It's making your candles into a heat map of buying and selling data, if you will. It's our own formula that we've come up with over the years. Bright green, if you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Now we are heading into this zone here, drawn automatically by the Maverick zones. Not out yet, but will be released probably within the next 30 days or so. And anything under about a 78% holding score, it's got a nice shot of breaking through. What we don't want is like a 95% chance or a 80, kind of an 80 or higher likely to hold. I probably wouldn't buy into this level. This is auto drawn by the Maverick zones, and it's giving you this score. So why are we in this trade? Well, we got a green background. The bulls are in control. Bright green candles. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Bunch of up confidence arrows. Love seeing these up confidence arrows. Got a buy signal right here. That's beautiful. Maverick trender is pegged to the top. When this line is pegged to the top, that shows massive strength and momentum to the upside. And you have this uptrend label. If it's green, it's to the upside. If it's red, it's to the downside. And then all 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames right now. Trader 1 through Trader 5, they all have a completely different style, and they're all voting bullish across 6 time frames. And you can set these time frames to whatever you want. You can actually add a 7th time frame. And again, how powerful would it be if you were in the room with 5 other traders and they were all voting every single tick and they all had a different style? And if they're all agreeing they're bullish, what are we doing here? We're stacking probability in our favor, okay? If it walks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck, right? So if we have bright green candles, your strongest upside candle, if you have all 5 traders voting bullish across 6 time frames, if you have the Maverick trender pegged to the top, if you have a green background, if you have all these things, well, that's what the Maverick radar is doing here, folks. Let me put this up here so you can see it better. The Maverick radar is going through our entire checklist of everything we're looking for to get into a trade. Everything we're looking for from our indicators. So we have an A setup on the Maverick AI Pro. You have bright green candles. Maverick Multi-X, all 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. Maverick Guide, we like to go long when price is above this blue line. And we like to go short when price is below it. Okay, so long when price is above it, short when price is below it. Maverick trender is pegged to the top, which is true right here. Maverick trender is pegged to the top. Bear bull indicator, the bulls are in control. The bulls are in control. That's another one of our indicators. It decides who's in control, the bears or the bulls. And then we have this Q, it's a qualifier. And I often joke, hey, it would take me 2 hours and a big whiteboard to explain this formula to you, but it's just an added formula in stacking all this probability to make sure that we truly are getting an A+ setup. And you probably noticed that we have ES and NQ on this indicator. Well, that's because ES and NQ, they should run together. If you're ever getting opposite signals from ES and NQ, don't touch your mouse. That would be my, that's what I would say. But what we're looking for is we want an A plus setup on ES, and then we want an A plus setup on NQ. And that can be massively powerful. And you can see we get this all aligned alert, because if ES has an A plus setup, NQ has an A plus setup with all our indicators, you're stacking probability that most likely you're going to head up, as long as you're not heading into a major level. And that's where the zones indicators coming in. Whereas we have a 67% chance, 69% chance of holding this zone. Anything under about a 78, 77, 76, you can break through. So I don't put a lot of stock in like a 60% likely to hold. You can see it's moving extremely slow. It's 7:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Wall Street's still sleeping. Not everybody's up and trading, but I'm trade copying right now. So I'm not looking for a huge move. If I can get just like a nice pop up, because we have bright green candles, we have an A plus setup. Now, check this out. You're within the first minute of the new 5-minute candle, and you can see we lost our A plus setup for a second there, because there's so much misdirection in that first minute and last minute of a 5-minute turn. I sit on my hands. I know you guys are sick of me hearing me say that, but I literally sit on my hands the first minute and the last minute of a 5-minute turn, because I just think this is where they come down, they grab stop losses, and they keep going up. You'll often see on ES, NQ, the first like minute, it'll head in the opposite direction of where it's actually going to go. Now, does that pertain to 9:35 a.m.? No, there's massive strength and momentum, and it's just going to be flying around. That's not what I mean. But on this type of deal, wouldn't surprise me if we got some retracement back down here, and then we continue to the upside. But we have bright green candles, okay? So for the rest of the world, this was a red candle right here. For the rest of the world, this is now a red candle. So for a lot of folks, they're jumping out either on this candle or they're jumping out on this candle. With the Maverick AI Pro, I have bright green data right here, which tells me that I still have a massive amount of strong upside data, okay? So I'm hanging in here. I'm not seeing a red candle and a red candle. I'm seeing a bright green candle, and I'm just hanging in here, seeing what's underneath the hood. Okay, if you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Red and pink are your strongest downside candles. Bright green, and this is middle of the night. This is 5 a.m. I'm sure, hopefully you were sleeping then. Okay, here we go. So how many people jump ship either here or down here, but you have bright green color. So until we change color, I'm hanging in here, okay? Let me go like that. There we go. Beautiful buy signal from the Maverick signals. Totally called this sucker way before this big move up here. All right, here we go. A plus setup on ES, A plus setup on NQ. We want to see these guys aligned. We want to see them aligned. Take a sip of my coffee here, heading into that zone. We're heading in. 71% chance of holding, 70% now. What this is doing, let me take a sip of my coffee and I'll tell you what this calculation is doing. What this calculation is doing is it is looking at the data underneath the hood, kind of what the candles are, but what is the likelihood of us breaking this zone? It's not really based on where the candle is in the zone is, I guess what I'm trying to say. This has its very own formula on how likely it is to hold this zone. It's crunching a bunch of different numbers, but it's not like if the candle gets halfway through, then this thing cuts to 50%. It's not like that. It's way smarter, way smarter. And again, we are copy trading the 3 other accounts, which is funny because my P&L right now for one of the accounts before I turned on my trade copier is negative $3.12. Negative $3.12. You know why? Because I jumped into the wrong contract and I didn't have my trade copier on. So it's kind of funny. So I think I jumped into CL or MCL rather, which only moves $1 or a tick or whatever. And somehow I lost $3.12. So here we go. Okay. How many people, let me zoom in here, folks. How many traders jumped out on this candle, this red candle, and then this candle was red for the majority of the beginning of it? How many folks jumped ship? Okay. Probably quite a few. But you had bright green candles the whole time. You knew there was rich buying data underneath the hood. And again, I'm trading the 3 more accounts. So anything you see here, you got to times by 4, right? Again, this buy signal was beautiful here. Just totally called it before this huge push up. That was awesome. Very, very cool. Wish I was actually approving new members when this happened. So welcome all our new members. Pumped for you. Super pumped for you. Get to know the indicators, practice. But man, you're about to have a lot of fun. You're about to have a lot of fun. Okay, A+ setup. We're bumping up. 138. We're up $138. We're only in micros, folks. Just FYI, we're only in micros. And again, times this by 4. Times this by 4. All right. So when you see $100 here, we're not up $100. We're up $400. I'm trade copying. And the reason I like that is because I can risk small amounts. I can, if I lose, $100 on this trade, I'm only losing, I'm losing $400 because I'm trade copying, but I'm spreading that $400 across multiple accounts so I don't blow an account. Folks try and make, $1,000 from one account and they risk so much. They end up blowing their funded accounts and stuff like that. Now we are getting a little retracement. You're in the coming out of that first minute of the 5-minute candle. Okay. 68% chance of likely holding. Anything like I said, under about 75, 76, whatever, it's just somewhere around 75% or greater, you're very likely to hold. 68%, 66%, we could break through. Does it mean we're gonna break through? No. But what it does mean is that if you had like 90% here, 85%, I would just close this thing out. Okay. But again, bright green candles, you came all the way down to here, still bright green candles, you still have rich upside data. Rich upside data. So I want to see, can we break to the upside? This is a heck of a zone though. You can see it. It tried to break through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost 11 times. These are 5-minute candles. All right, still got an A+ setup. We're weaning on the NQ, but the NQ is a wild horse. The NQ is a wild, wild horse. It swings big movements, big movements. So again, we're just trading small here and multiplying it across multiple accounts. Trading small. Okay, getting a little retracement, that's okay. Got about 1.5 minutes in this candle. About 1.5 minutes in this candle. right. Got about 40 seconds left on this candle right here. And if you notice the whole time, oh, now we're 59% likely to hold. That's pretty low. It's pretty low. This zone is weakening. 59% likely to hold. Like I said, anything under 75, weak sauce. So we're playing around with what colors this should be and everything like that when you do get that. So remember, folks, again, we're trade copying, so we're up about 400 bucks. Sorry about that. Okay, so a lot of the world got out here. A lot of the world got out here. Definitely a lot of the world got out here. Okay, but what did you have the entire time? Bright green candles. Bright green candles, your strongest upside candle. Okay. Still got an A+ setup. We are on the turn of the 5-minute candle. You are on the turn of the 5-minute candle. So expect some retracement. Expect some retracement. And I wish I could put my copier over here. I'm trading on 2 monitors. I don't want to move it because I have it in full window and it'll jack this whole thing up on it recording my screen. I keep forgetting about my $3.12 loss earlier. Man, I got out quick. I was like, wait, what am I doing? This is the totally wrong thing I wanted to trade. And I made it out, and I don't know why $3.12. Must be with commissions or something like that, because that's the weirdest number ever. $3.12. But it happens. 2 days ago, I got into the wrong contract on, I was trading options. Microsoft options? Oh, I thought I was buying Microsoft, and I bought Tesla. And Tesla was going the opposite direction. And all of a sudden, my P&L, thank God I only bought one contract, and all of a sudden, my P&L was going the wrong way. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Did I buy the wrong contract? Did I buy a put instead of a call, or vice versa? And I said, no, I bought a put. And then I went, oh, I bought Tesla instead of, Microsoft. It's the tough thing about having multiple monitors, So anyway, so I'm going to leave this sucker up because this is moving so slow. It's 7:22 a.m. I'm going to leave this guy up and we'll just keep watching it. And, probably bring this to break even just in case, because I am trade copying. I'm putting a lot of accounts here on the I don't know, let's see here. Starting to change color here, but we did survive the first minute. It's probably going to want to give it a little bit of room. Let's give it a little bit of room. So this isn't much. And if I take like a $15 loss or whatever, I don't care. But I do want to give it room to breathe. That's the worst. Not giving your trade room to breathe. So we'll leave this up. We did lose our grade setup. So a lot of times people say, when do I get into a trade? Well, wait for an A+ setup or a B setup. When do I get out of a trade? Well, when you lose your setup. You can absolutely get out of a trade. Like right now, hey, look, we're up 60 bucks, right? We were up, 150 at one point? But we're up $70. What's 70 times 4? 280 bucks. I don't know many people that make 280 bucks in 10 to 15 minutes. That's $1,000 an hour. I mean, that I don't know. Do brain surgeons get that? You know what I mean? So even if you started to come down, you said, oh, I lost my setup. Okay, I made $60. 60 times, times 4 is 240 bucks. That's pretty good. You do that twice a day, that's 500 bucks a day. You do that 5 days a week, that's 2,500 bucks. It's 10 grand a month. It's 120 grand a year. Was my math right on that? Let's see here. 2,500, 5, 10. Yeah, 10 grand a month. Yep. So, I mean, small little wins can add up, especially when you pass some evals, get some accounts under your belt, and just follow the colors. I mean, you're seeing it in real time here. All right, turn of the 5-minute candle. What's going to happen? Turn of the 5-minute candle. So that first minute and last minute, I sit on my hands. First minute and last minute, sit on my hands. All right, so I'm just going to let this play out because this is taking forever. But again, remember, whatever number you see here that we're making, we're up at $130. Just times that by 4 because we're trade copying. But if you want edge in the market, if you want clear vision, if you don't want to get shaken out on candles like this, or really this one, come check us out. We would love to help you crush it. If you want clear vision, if you want edge in the market, I consider this edge. Not financial advice, do your own research, never a guarantee, especially in these markets, but man, this to me is edge. This to me is clear vision, and you can probably hear it in my voice. So hey, come check us out, MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.